Hi, my name is Develous Alfred Bright, and today I want to share with you the testimony about the day that I died and lived again. Now, I want to preface this story about my testimony by saying that I'm sharing the story with you because of the impact that it had on my consciousness. Now I've moved into this new phase of my life when the confluence of circumstances have all aligned in such a way that I've had a reawakening of what it means to be a conscious being and what I experienced on this day of my testimony for the very first time. The date was Mother's Day, 1979. I was a junior at St. Thomas High School, a varsity basketball player, student council member. I was active in a lot of different clubs and organizations. I was full of excitement about my future as a senior and all of the things that were going on in my life, my future. The night before had been like so many back in those days, filled with fun and laughter and maybe a bit of teenage-fueled, alcohol-fueled vibrato. And my friends and I wound up late that night, and I returned back home to our L-shaped ranch home at 4375 North McGregor. Snuck into my room that was on one tip of that L shape, and I went to sleep. The next morning, as my dad usually did, he came over to my side of the house, knocked on the door, opened it, and told me to wake up. I did not wake up. Later on, as the family was dressed and ready to go to church, they stopped by my room, opened the door, only to find me still in bed. So what I remember hearing was a lot of frustration and anger and an admonition for me to get up and come to church. So that's what I did. I put on my black suit and my black glasses, my dark glasses, and I jumped in my little yellow Camaro and headed west on North McGregor. I turned to the north on Cullen and headed through the University of Houston's campus until I got to the corner of I-45 in Cullen. And because the light was red, but it turned green, I accelerated. But what I didn't see was a Purelator armored truck racing through the intersection, jumping or running his red light. But when I saw that armored car racing to my driver's side door, the first thought that came to my mind was, nobody survives a crash like this. I slammed on the brakes, cut my wheel hard to the right, and right at that moment is when I believed that I died. It was a violent impact, and the evidence showed me that the car was spun around, but I don't remember all of that. But this is where my recent research in near-death experiences and my experience start to come together. I've been researching these near-death experiences, and I want to say a few things. First, I don't have any verifiable evidence, but what I experienced is consistent with those who have been able to verify what happened after the accident. The second thing I want to say, there just is no vocabulary for what I experienced at that time. I'm pretty good with words. I've been a pastor for 21 years. Every week almost, I've written a new sermon, and I consider myself quite the wordsmith. But there's simply no vocabulary to truly tell you what that type of brilliance and clarity and knowledge and love and warmth really feels like. I can't really put it into words. And actually, over the years that I've been telling this story, I kind of lost touch with that feeling and with the idea of even trying to explain it. I kind of glossed over it for many years as I told this story. Immediately after I saw the truck coming through the intersection, and I thought to myself, nobody survives a crash like that, I went blank. And my first thought was, what does this mean? Meaning, what did this mean for my 17-year-old life? And instantly, like a flash, my entire life was displayed for me in an instant as a thought. And it included varsity basketball and working at Astroworld and having a girlfriend and getting ready for my college year, my senior year, and prom, and all of that was coming up. In the instant that it took for that life review to reach my mind, I was overwashed with a light. This light was brighter than bright. It was whiter than white. It had everything that you associate with light. It was enlightening. It had warmth, and it was love, and it was brilliant, and it had intelligence, and it spoke to me. And it said to me clearly, that is not important. What does that mean? Well, I think it meant that all the things that I was worried about and all the things that were important to me at the time just weren't as important as I thought they were. The impact of the light was sudden and instant. It was breathtaking, and it was mind-blowing. It changed me in an instant. Again, I gotta apologize for my lack of vocabulary and its ability to describe everything that I experienced in that light. This breathtaking, heart-stopping, laughter-filled, ecstatic experience was truly divine. And it wasn't the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus in stained glass at Mount Vernon United Methodist Church. So I searched. I searched Islam, Hinduism, mysticism. I learned to chant. I went to Morehouse, and when you know, God was there too. And by the time I returned from Morehouse, I had decided that there is only one God. And it's just human folly to think that any one religion has the truth, the only truth, and nothing but the truth. So I decided that I would go back home. And from that moment on, my path followed some twists and turns. But they all led to a 21-year career as a pastor in the United Methodist Church, teaching on campus at Wiley College, inspiring young people and old people to have a closer walk with the Holy Spirit that lies within. But all of those stories are stories for another time. Thank you for sharing my testimony about the day that I died and I saw the light. I'm Develous Bright. Be blessed.